Whew. Okay. Okay. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Whew. How is everyone doing today? Today we are going to talk about, and I went in to change this, y'all, and ended up messing it up. But today's topic is about how to stop promoting your logo and start promoting your brand. That's kind of sounds kind of strange, all right? Well, we're going to get into some things. We're going to start the video at about 10 minutes is when I'm going to get into it. I'm coming to y'all today in my PJs. I wanted to get real comfortable today because I wanted to be able to get real personal with you guys. As you come in, let me know if you have a business and if you promote your brand and or how you're promoting your brand, ways that you are promoting your brand. So just let me know that y'all are in the room. Let me know that you can hear me well and all of that good stuff because we're going to get into some deep stuff today. Today's video is for anybody who's out there. If you are having issues building your business and promoting yourself, this is the video for you. This one right here is going to be a very good video for you. We're going to dive deep into some things, y'all. We're going to get deep into some things in this video. And for those of you who are new to the videos, I'm Latana Robertson, the Lady Print Boss, and on this channel, we talk about bossing up in our business. We're going to talk about some really, really cool things today, and we're going to get into some things today. We're going to get into some things today. So that's fine, Tampa. See you later. We're going to get into some things today. So just get started on a few things here. Let me shut down a few things, y'all. This week has been very, very busy for me. Very well, the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks have been really, really busy for me. And I made some amazing accomplishments within my business in these past 2 weeks. And I want to be able to share those things with you all too. So make sure that you stay tuned or come back and watch the replay on this so that you can find out all of this good stuff because I'm going to give y'all some real stuff, some real business stuff in here tonight. Um, Yesterday we did another event yesterday. We're coming off of two events, the event for Nike and then the event for a company called Rap. Both have been amazing. Both have been really, really great. We've had a great time doing both of them, and it has really, really helped push the brand. And so that's what we're going to talk about tonight because I see a lot of people out here who are promoting their logos, and there's a time and a place to use your logo, right? And then there's a time and a place to promote your brand. A lot of times people, they promote their logo, but they don't promote their brand. And the two go hand in hand, but they are completely different. And we're going to get into that tonight. Just going to wait for a few minutes and see if we get a few more people on. And then I will come in and start the show and start the discussion that I want to talk about with y'all. And I'm missing some things. Let's see here. Where was I at? I had some notes here for y'all and I can't seem to find them. So, oh, I know where I was. I was up here. Okay. Hey, Miss Keisha, how are you? Welcome to the video. We're going to get into some things, sis. I think this is going to be a great video for you. Um, this should be a really good one for you to help you out with some things. I want to kind of get a little bit candid today, and if y'all don't mind, and be able to just really just break some, so that we could just break some things down. So we can just break some things down tonight and talk about some things. Is that okay with y'all? Okay, so everyone knows, you pretty much know what a logo is, right? Let's see what time it is. Okay, it's I've been on here 6 minutes. We will wait 4 more minutes and then we will jump on into this and go on and handle our business, because I don't want to be on here all night. Time is money and money is time. And I know I haven't been coming on much on Friday nights, but I did want to get this content out to y'all because I had pushed it up, or had put it out here, put it up so that you guys can see. Okay. So let's get into it. Promoting your logo, promoting your brand and not your logo, right? So if you're like me, of course, you have a logo. Now, sometimes my logo switches. It's not that important to have a logo. People get really confused when I say that your most important goal is not to have a logo, because your logo could change, right? So let's talk about the difference between your logo and your brand. Your logo just is a visual symbol that is just representing your brand, your company, or the product that you sell, right? While your brand tells your overall story, who you are, who your company is, who you are if you are the face of your brand, who your company is, the perception of your company, um, your values, your personality. It's your whole complete story. And this is why I believe that it's so important to get your brand story out there and to promote your brand versus promoting your logo, right? If you see a logo, and let's use one of my logos for example. I'm T-Shirt Shop Dallas, right? So if you see the T-Shirt Shop Dallas logo and you look at the logo just in itself, it just identifies that I am a T-shirt shop in Dallas, right? That's about all that you're gonna get from that logo. But what makes me different, what makes my company stand out, I want y'all to really pay attention to this tonight for those of y'all who are on here, because this directly affects income, right? This directly affects income, and has been the reason that I'm able to stop printing and disappear for months and then come back in and boom, and I'm back on top. Um, it is my brand's identity. And I have several different, I don't think I really have several different identities, but there are branch offs. There's like different stories to within my brand, right? The Lady Print Boss, T-Shirt Shop Dallas, now Dallas Live Printing. All three are a part of my brand, right? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my brand when people when people meet me or when I'm out, um, I always tell a part of my brand story to my customers. And the reason that you want to do this is because within your brand and you're looking for customers, right? You want to find customers who relate to you. They have a personal connection to you and to your story, because when people get a personal connection to you and to your story, it separates you from other businesses, right? It separates you from other businesses. So while your logo, you're going to put your logo on things, right? Your logo does not, it represents you to build your identity, just for them to identify you, but it doesn't really say who you are. It doesn't really say who you are. Hey Mel, how are you? Hey, my ultrasound, how are you doing tonight? Hello Cleve, how are you? So I just want you guys to understand that, because what I see is I see so many people using their brand and they're putting, or using their logo, and they're putting their logo and throwing their logo on different types of merch, right? Big front and center. When what they should be doing is using the logo to help kind of tell the brand story, to be able to reach their customers, right? If you remember, if you looked at the live that I did the other day, and I was talking about the air fresheners that I was doing, and I was telling you guys why I did not put my logo big front and center, right? Versus me putting it, I ended up actually putting it over to the side because I couldn't get that QR code to, I couldn't get the QR code to scan, y'all. So I ended up putting that logo over to the side, but still small. Yet I put other elements like the cat, the sayings, I put those big because I'm reaching my customers, right? And so within that, it's even telling a story, right? A little bit about my personality within all of that. So I just want to kind of touch on some of these things. And for those of you that are on here, I'm going to tell you a story and give you, be really, really vulnerable and give you some information. You know, so today is the 7th of April, and this is not really about the brand, but it plays all into the brand, right? Into why I'm able to accomplish the things that I'm able to accomplish as a small business. After not printing for a while, doing the move, we did the move and all of that. And then I said, hey, you know, remember I told you guys last month, I said, okay, it's the first week I'm back at work. I want to do a $10,000 Monday. That did not happen, y'all. It just did not happen. And so I had to really, really just kind of jump back, take a step back and think about, is my internet, did I cut off? I'm sorry, y'all. Did my internet cut off, y'all? Looks like my internet cut off. I guess it cut off and brought me back in. So I was kind of like, okay, what is it that I need to do? And how could I decided instead of a $10,000 Monday to set my goal, because there were 2 more weeks left in the month, to set that goal for me to make $10,000, right? And within me setting, and this is why I'm so big on y'all setting goals, set goals, whatever it is, no matter how small, no matter how big, set goals that you can obtain, but goals that are also going to challenge you. And I set that goal. And as of today, today is the 7th. So it's been 3 weeks now, right? I have made over 20 grand. I made over 20 grand, and I made it on 8 customers. Why? Because of my brand. Okay. Because of my brand's identity, because of the trust that I built with my customers and my clients. And I believe that that's why I've had so much longevity here in this business, right? Because I my customers can identify with me, right? My customers can identify with me. Tell me, for those of y'all who are in the comments that have businesses, tell me, what do you want your customers to think of when they think of you or your brand, right? When they think of you or your brand. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to share with you a story of how I promoted my brand last night at an event that I was doing. Okay. Tell y'all a story of how I promoted it at an event last night. And then I'm going to tell you some different scenarios and different ways that you are able to promote your brand. So it was an amazing night. Amazing. It was jumping, y'all. The crowd was into it. Ken and I were into it. I'm in my PJs because, baby, Lady Print Boss had to get out there and do a little dance, shake a little thing, and do my little spin. Y'all know how I get out there on the press and I do it. Well, as I'm getting older, and so today this knee is hurting, okay? This knee is swole up. Don't know how much longer I can last, but guess I'm gonna have to take me some yoga classes, y'all, and take me some dance classes so I can get up on the new dances. But we were having a wonderful time. A marshal walked in, and I said, "Oh God, what the?" You know, that's what my mind is saying. But I'm in Lady Print Boss mode, and I'm smiling and all of that. And so this Dallas Marshal walked in, and he was standing there and he was looking. And I was like, what is he doing? I was like, okay, he's not code compliant. So I know the machines, everything is up to code, everything is good. Okay, what's going on here? And so I approached him. I said, hey, how you doing? You want a shirt today? He said, how does this work? And I said, what do you mean? Because I didn't know I couldn't understand what he was saying. He was asking me, how does the live screen printing work, right? And so I walked up closer to him because the music was like blasting. It was like we were in a club and it was dark in there and all of this stuff. So I kind of eased over to him and he said, hey, kind of tell me about, like, what are you guys doing? And I told him, I said, we're making custom t-shirts, we're printing live. And he said, so how does all of this work? And so I started explaining to him about printing, right? And he said, no, I mean, like, how do you, when, like if somebody hires you, how does this work? How do you go out and how do you do these types of jobs? So we started talking about that. And then we ended up going out. I told him, I said, hey, let's step out. And we went out and we stepped on the patio and had a conversation. And within me talking to him, I started to tell him my story, right? And the reason I started to tell him my story is because now I'm promoting my brand, okay? My brand has a lot of different facets to it, right? He made a comment to me that a lot of companies don't like to deal with the police. And I said, oh, I have no problem printing for police functions. And then I started to tell him, I said, as a matter of fact, do you know such and such out of the Southeast Dallas gang unit? And do you know Sergeant Quigg and this and other? And so I started to tell him, I said, hey, I said, what my business does is we go out and we speak, telling him about, when we go out and we do things for the community and do different events that we have been a part of, right? To kind of let him get to know a little bit about me, right? And within doing that, I did that for a couple of reasons. And I'm just going to be really, really just keep it really, really honest with y'all tonight, right? And be really transparent. Within the Black community, a lot of times the police feel like we're afraid of them. Some black people are afraid of police. And so it's always like, let me watch my back, right? So sometimes you have to break down those barriers. And within me talking to this man and telling him, about my story and how I started the business and how I wanted a better life for my children and to keep my kids out of the street, and how I go in when the police officers have things, and I go in and talk to these kids, and how we try to teach them how to screen print to get out of certain situations and to keep them from having an idle mind, right? That's just a part of the Lady Print Boss story, right? And so once I started opening up to him, he said, you know what? We got to have you. We got to have you come speak. We got to have you come do an event. We got to have you. And within me talking to him, he goes and he starts Googling, right? And so he Googles, and then Lady Print Boss pops up. And so he's like, you're all over the place, right? That's part of me branding myself, right? Within part of me branding myself. And I tell y'all all the time about diversifying within the Lady Print Boss brand, the t-shirt shop Dallas, the live screen printing, just all kinds of stuff that I do. I'm here, 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 here. Wow, she does this. She teaches. She's a Corel Draw expert. She does this. She boom, boom, boom. What that does is that builds confidence, trust, respect. It puts value on your name, right? It puts value on your name. So what I did was relate to this man, give him a little bit of my story, learn a little bit about my brand, what makes Lady Print Boss who Lady Print Boss is, to reach him, right? You have to reach the inside, honey, dig deep inside and reach their souls sometimes, right? And that is part of what I'm talking about when I'm talking about like promoting, how to promote your brand. And, I learned this, y'all. Time for a water break. I think that life, right, for some of us, I think that life teaches us different things. Like for me, I say, okay, selling and talking to people, it's in my DNA, right? I had an uncle growing up. My uncle was, what do you call it? He was a swindler. He was a swindler. My uncle could talk you into buying anything, right? He was my only uncle, my favorite uncle. But he could talk you into buying anything. And as a little girl, he named me Walkie Talkie, right? Because I like to talk a lot, and I would mimic a lot of the things that he would do in selling, right? And my uncle had a phone book. This is back when old folks had phone books. He had a phone book, and he would talk to people. Now, this is it. He would talk to people on the phone. He sold these invisible shotguns, okay? My uncle sold invisible shotguns. And he would talk to people, but don't get it twisted. Stay with the story. Stay with the story, because this is going to be amazing. It's what I learned from it. He would follow up with customers that he was selling these invisible shotguns to. And I'm going to tell you what I mean. Let's say, for example, he met someone and he told them, hey, I got some shotguns for sale, blah, blah, blah. And he got their information, and they didn't bite the first time. He still had their information, and he did the follow-ups. This is part of what makes Lady Print Boss, right? We're talking about me as a little girl, as 8, 9, 10-year old little girl. I would see my uncle follow up with that person a month later, 2 months later, sometimes 6 months later, without knowing. As I got older and I got into sales, I noticed that I would do the same thing with customers, which is doing the follow up, right? So I think that it has to be something that, I'm not going to say that. I think that within every person, right, that's in business, that there's something within your DNA or something within you that you can pull from out of your life experiences, right? Um, to grow your business. For me, my uncle played a substantial role in my ability to be able to sell things, right? He gave me the gift of gab. He gave it to me. He instilled it in me as a kid. I see so many people now who are, you want to start a business and you go out and you do everything that you've heard YouTubers tell you to do. Go buy a heat press, go buy this, do that, do this, do that, and then they become a consumer, right? And they never get into really promoting their business or learning their business, and maybe it's comes from procrastination spirit. I don't know. Okay, but if that's you, you gotta break it. I'm gonna give y'all some real shit here tonight. Okay. Um, So I'm going to tell you tonight about some ways to promote your brand. I'm a what do I call myself? Pre-social media dinosaur, right? So all of these I don't do, but I'm going to tell you the things that I personally do that has helped to build my brand and help to get my customers, right? So the first thing, one of the things that you can do to promote your brand is to build a strong social media presence, right? Now, that can be on, when they're saying build a strong social media presence, most of the time people are talking about like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of this stuff, right? For me, I think I have more of a strong web presence. I believe that a strong web presence will get you further than a strong social media presence for the business that I'm in and the type of clients that I have. And I'm going to tell y'all why. Because let's say, for example, I have 100,000 followers over on Instagram, right? I still have that same ability over here on the search engines to reach that amount and then some. So if I was younger and probably, um, I think if I was in a different time, born in a different time, if I wasn't a 60s baby, I think that social media would be a big thing for me. I remember when, people started telling me, hey, Latana, you need to get on social media. You need to do this. You need to do that. And I don't consider YouTube social media, y'all. I don't consider YouTube social media. YouTube to me is a way to come up into the search engines, right? So I don't really consider YouTube social media. Keisha, that's a good one. I don't consider LinkedIn social media either. I consider LinkedIn more in tune with your online presence and in tune with other people. I don't consider it, I'm like you, I don't consider LinkedIn social media so much. Do you guys, what do you guys consider social media? And what avenues do you use on social media? What social media avenues do you use to promote your business? Like, and I'm going to tell you why I don't think that social media affects my business so much, right? Is because of what I do. I prefer to sell t-shirts in bulk, right? So going back to what Keisha says about LinkedIn, I think that LinkedIn is more in alignment with what it is that I do, right? And it's more in alignment with my brand because I'm selling bulk items. Now, if I'm just heat pressing and I want to sell custom t-shirts and I'm trying to get individual customers or even smaller orders, I think that it works. And don't get me wrong, because you can pull big clients off of social media doing TikTok videos and things like that, right? I just don't think that the corporate world, that they're on TikTok, especially now with, with a lot of government entities not being, with it being banned from a bunch of different things. So I don't think that it aligns with me. And so I personally don't do the social media thing, but everyone has to do, you have to find your lane, stay in your lane long enough for you to master your lane, and then, honey, start jumping lanes. Okay? Everybody says find your lane and stay in it. Find your lane, master your lane, and then jump over into somebody else's lane. Okay? And then jump till you find the perfect thing for you. That's my take on it. Now, another way to promote your brand, which if you know me, you know that I'm strong on it, is going to be email marketing campaigns. And we getting ready to launch an awesome email marketing campaign for my Dallas Live printing. Email campaigns, y'all, when targeted towards the right audience, you have to know your audience, it can really make a big, massive effect. I don't think that email marketing makes a big effect if you're marketing. Yes, it does. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say that because sometimes I've gotten email marketing campaigns where it could be just a cup on there, and I may buy that one personalized. Then you really make some money. Y'all, am I going on and off or something? Because it seems like maybe it's something going on with the internet. Am I blinking in and out, or what's going on? Right? Let me know. So, email marketing campaigns, if you are not into email marketing, reach out to me. Tell me in the comments, are you doing any type of email marketing? And if you're not doing any type of email marketing, are you wanting to get into email marketing? And I'm going to tell y'all, if you're not doing email marketing, that's okay in the beginning. But get your customers to where you have their email so that you can start, right? For me, being an online business now, because I'm completely a home business that sells via e-commerce 100% now. You can't walk in no more. I'm loving it. Okay. We're going to talk about it real soon about why I made the transition and all of that stuff to this, to what I'm doing. But hey, if you want to be able to work at home in your PJs, okay, work a day or two a week and just live your life on your terms, because that's what the American dream is about, um, then hit me up. Hit me up and let's talk about it and see what I can do for you. So we got email marketing campaigns. The other thing, another way to promote your brand is by collaborating with influencers or other brands, right? Um, and when they say collaborating with influencers, they don't mean as far as like, like influencers that we do, like I'm a micro influencer. And let's say if I did a video with Tampa or somebody like that, that's one way of collaborating with influencers. But when they're talking about promoting your brand, is normally about your services or your products, where you are maybe hiring an influencer to show this bottle of water. You drinking this bottle of water? It's so good. Just imagine that I'm Beyonce or something, and she just sold the water, right? So, another way is offering promotions and discounts. That will promote your brand. Won't really tell your brand story, but it will promote your brand. Now, attending industry events or events, doing events, doing pop-up shops, conferences, big, big for promoting your brand. Big for promoting your brand. Now, I'm going to tell y'all a couple of things that are not on the list that I personally do. I'm old school. I believe in face-to-face interactions and using my story to promote my brand. It's hard to promote your brand. For me, I'm more of a in person, in your face type person, right? So I like to, nobody can sell me like I can sell me, okay? So I like to get out and I like to interact with people. So doing events is great for me. Doing pop-ups is great for me. Get involved in your community, in your church, if you're into sports, if your kids are into sports, become interactive with groups and different people so that you can get your brand out there. Now, in the process of you getting your brand out there, you're going to need something with your logo on it, right? So that you can build brand identity, right? So that they get your logo and they start to remember you. But as you're meeting people, you talk about your story, right? You talk about your story. Another part of building the brand that we really haven't talked on and hit on is like your trust, building that trust. Like, why do people call me to do events? That's the one question that everybody want to know. I ain't telling y'all because I ain't going to give y'all the secret. No. Got to play with y'all just a little bit, right? So, why do people call me for events? I get a lot of calls because the Lady Print Boss name is huge. The Lady Print Boss name is big. Now, I'm not big on social media, but within the decorated apparel industry, okay, the Lady Print Boss name is respected. It's very respected, right? Amongst businesses and other corporations, it took a while to get there, okay? People relate to the story. The name is strong, one, right? The name is strong, one, for number one. Sometimes businesses are looking for your brand, right? And they're looking for a specific thing, there's no other way to say it. they're looking for me. Let's use me as an example because we're talking about me. We're talking about Lady Print Boss. When people are looking for me, for example, with Nike, it was the women's Final Four weekend. They were looking for female bosses. The whole weekend's promotion was about female bosses, right? And who better, honey, than the Lady Print Boss herself? If you're talking about a print boss, it got to be me. I keep telling you, it got to be me. It's no bossier boss than me when it comes to printing. It's what I do, right? It's what I master in. It's what I put myself out there in. And so when one company uses you, another company uses you, another company uses you, don't think for one moment. Don't think for one moment that when John and Ken is in the office, and not my Ken, and they're talking, and somebody says, "Hey, we have a walk coming up, and it's an all female. We're promoting business, women in business, blah blah blah. We want to come up with some type of promotion. We want to go and we want to buy something, and they want. Do you know any female businesses that we can buy from? Do you know any female businesses that we could bring into our loop? Right? Do you know any single mothers, like if you're doing something, okay, do you know any sometimes, for example, if your business deals with rehabilitation services, right? You may want a business who has been a recovering addict. Do you know any recovering addicts? Do you know anyone who has a story and they were homeless and they went from being homeless to making it in business, or any moms that went from being at home, a working mom? So they are looking for people. I cannot tell you how many times people tell me, "I've been searching for you. I came and looked for you." I always ask people, "How are you referred to me?" "Oh, we were looking for women bosses. We were looking for I was looking for a female printer. I was looking for a small business. I was looking for someone and I was looking for someone who has been printing for a while. I was looking for someone who did this or who did that. You came highly recommended. You were the first name that came out of their mouth." You need to make sure that you are the first name, the first, not the second. Everybody remembers the winner. Nobody remembers who came in second, third, fourth, or fifth place, right? You ask somebody, "Hey, who won the Super Bowl?" They ain't gonna tell you who was the runner up. So whenever you do any job for anybody, you want to be the first. Even in my screen printing, if I do a job for someone, I make sure that that job is so amazing and that they have such a great experience dealing with my company that they want to come back and they want to tell their friends. That's what you have to do, because everybody can print. Not everybody. A lot of people can print, right? And so you have to, what sets your service or your product out from the others? What makes you shine? Find that one thing that makes you shine. Do you deliver on time? Do you go the extra mile? Part of my brand, and it wouldn't really be so much as the story, but it's about who the brand is, right? Everybody in the city knows If you call her last minute, oh, she gonna charge you. Oh, she gonna charge you. That lady over there, she's something else. But you gonna get it on time. You gonna get it on time. And guess what? She gonna bring it to you. We deliver. Sometimes just being that person that will deliver, being that person that will go to that office and sit down and have a 10-minute conversation out of your time, being that person who is friendly and who walks people through. Y'all know I have a smart mouth and a strong personality, right? But you have to know when to bring that customer service and when to help people and when to be stern. There are sometimes that I'm stern. The contract says, because sometimes businesses will try you. And so you have to make sure that they respect you. With me being stern, I'm also building that respect, right? So you just have to be willing to. I'll tell y'all something. When I went to the Graphics Pro convention, I remember one of the ladies on the panel was talking about how she got mad because people kept calling, kept calling, kept calling, and she had to check herself, right? Well, we all have to do that. Sometimes you're busy and you're printing or you're trying to get a job out and somebody wants a quote, right? And you may not be able to get that quote to them right then. And if you ain't and you got a problem, then go buy that t-shirt calculator because that'll make you get that quote out just like that, honey. Just like that, okay? Um, but you're not able to get that quote to them. Just because you didn't get it to them right then doesn't mean that you cannot get it to them. So get it to them and respond, even if it's 2 days later, y'all still respond. Hi, so and so, I'm so sorry I missed your quote, blah blah blah. Are you still interested? Da, 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 da. And if they've gotten somebody else, then fine, but at least you did reach out. Because a lot of times people say, I called 10 different companies and nobody returned my call. On my voicemail, it may tell you I'm very busy. Hey, this is Latana. I'm out of the office today. I'm doing an event, but leave me your name, number, and brief message of what it is that you want, and I'm going to call you back. If it's important, go ahead and text me, right? In this day and age, it's proper business etiquette. It used to be a time when if you would ask someone to text you that people say, oh, but now that's all everybody does. So use it, right? And if you can't do anything but build out a form and text somebody a link to that form, a lot of times people are texting me, hey, I want to get a quote. Boom, boom, boom. Hey, click this form for me and fill this out, and I'll get right back with you. That it keeps me from going from how many shirts do you need? What color shirts do you need? What brand do you need? This, and that other. Boom. That form is going to cut out all of that nonsense, right? From me asking you 100 questions, it's going to streamline everything. I'm going to get all of your information at one time. When people see that form, oh, honey, she got her shit together. Okay? People like to deal with people who have their shit together. If you don't have your shit together, people don't want to deal with you, right? And when you have your shit together, guess what happens? Now you're able to charge more because you're the authority. People trust you. Oh, this business is the business verifiable? Like people ask me, well, how do you run a business at home? You have to be verifiable. Do you have a website? If you don't have a website, I don't care if you put up a one-page site. If you want to be taken seriously in business, you need a web page. You need a web page, right? If you want to be taken in business. If you are not serious, then don't get one. and keep spinning your wheels, right? It amazes me how many times I see people who are out here trying to get started in business and you become a consumer. Because what happens? You want to start a business. What's the first thing you think of? Oh, I need a logo. I need to go get an LLC. No, you don't. No, you don't. You need customers. You need sales. You need customers and you need sales. And what you need is a www dot. Okay, that's what you need so that people can get to you. And then once you get that domain name, right? And you get on Google and you start advertising to get sales. You can always come back and build a logo because you do need a logo so that people can start identifying it when knowing that, hey, that's you, right? You want them to know that that's you. But that's basically where your logo stops. Forever, T-Shirt Shop Dallas didn't have a logo, right? And y'all notice the way that I name my businesses: T-Shirt Shop Dallas, Dallas Live Printing, um, Lady Print Boss. I tell you within my names what it is that I do. It's okay to be, within whatever it is that you do. Don't be like Fruity Loops, Judy's Fruity Loops or something like that. You need to be, if you are Kisa's Creations, it tells you, hey, I'm Kisa, I create things. What do you create? Now you have to figure out, what do you create? I create it, and it needs to be a tagline if it doesn't tell you what you do. Like, for example, T-Shirt Shop Dallas tells you that I am a t-shirt shop and I'm in Dallas. Now, what type of t-shirts does she do? I wonder, what does she do? Does she sell blank t-shirts? Does she do, and then you have your tagline for what it is that you do. Dallas's #1 screen printer, right? We print t-shirts. That other guy just prints, okay? No, we build brands. That other guy just prints shirt, right? Um, so even within your business name, on everything you do, if it doesn't state specifically what you do, Dallas Live Printing, what type of live printing does she do? Screen printing activations, heat press activations. Have that tagline, right? Have that tagline so that you always start to come up. Explain exactly what it is that you do. Okay. I'm going to look on here and see what you guys are talking about. Now, within all of these things that you're doing to promote your brand, okay, here's one thing that you have to do is make sure that you identify your target audience. Make sure that when you identify your target audience, that you are tailoring your promotions to reach them effectively. Okay. What that means is, if I'm doing a promotion, let's say if I'm doing a social media campaign or email marketing campaign, my customers from T-Shirt Shop Dallas and my clients from um, my live events are maybe two different clients, right? Mines are not really two different clients, okay? Because over here I'm corporate and over here I'm corporate. That's my lane, right? And I'm staying in it. Master your lane, then you can come and get in my lane. But if you get in my lane, get ready to get bumped and moved over. I'm just playing, y'all. That's my personality. Remember when I was talking about the cards and the sarcasm? That's part of me. Right. Okay. So it's part of the story. Um, let's see here. Let's see here. My ultrasound. What does that name say, y'all, when you hear my ultrasound? Right? What type of ultrasounds does he do? Right? And then it would go on and tell you what he does in his tagline or in his bio, in his brand story. How did my ultrasound come to be? Who is my ultrasound for? What type of uh who is the my ultrasound's customer, right? When you're trying to figure out all of that before you can promote your brand, you got to figure out who your brand is. Okay? You have to figure out who your brand is. Tampa Barbecue Queens, the queen of barbecue, and she's from Tampa. That's what I would think if I see that name somewhere. The queen of barbecue, and that's what she would think. Okay, that's what I would think. Okay. Okay, so Keisha says she wants her customers to think of her brand as fun, charismatic, and casual. You know what, Keisha? What that says to me is that casual customers, you may look at people, ordinary people, right? Fun. You want to have fun. I would look at, for my logo, if this is what I'm thinking about, my logo, fun, charismatic, and casual, I would have a fun, funky logo, right? Not too busy, but just fun, okay? And within, let's say, for example, if I was going for that fun type of branding, right? All of my stuff, all of my promotional items would show fun. Maybe, for example, if I'm doing, let's say, if I'm promoting uh, tanks, right? If I'm promoting tanks, t-shirt tanks, right? Then let's say, for example, I may have somebody outdoors that is outdoors and climbing on something, or they're, whatever they're doing, they're laughing, they're they're just casual and they're laughing in different atmospheres like that. So you just want to make your brand all about, kind of encompass all of that and be you, if you're fun and you're charismatic, right? Now I'm gonna tell y'all something. Another way that I kind of tell my brand story is, so let's say last night when we were at this event, and this is at every event that I do. No one ever has to ask who's the boss. They might not understand it at first, right? When I first walk in, because look at me. I'm a casual type of natural type of girl, right? Y'all know I'm a t-shirt, blue jeans, or t-shirt, sweatpants type of girl. That's me, right? So a lot of times when I walk into places, people may think your first impression, she the worker, right? But the way that I carry myself when I walk into a room, okay, the way that I speak to people, the way that I'm just an authoritative figure, right? You just know. You just know. Um, for example, yesterday we got to the event and they're doing things, and Ken is working. My son is over here working. I always tell Z, never call me mom when we're at events, but he just cannot call me anything else. So he still calls me mom. But they're working, and while they're working, I'm overseeing everything. This is what makes people bring me back. I'm looking, I'm making sure that this is done, that's done. If I see that the crowd needs to be worked, I jump in and I boss and I take over the crowd. If I see that things need to be switched up, we need to pivot, we need to change something up, that's what I do. So last night, the way that we had this set up, it was not the most efficient setup. Just to be honest with y'all, told y'all was gonna get transparency tonight. We went in and um, it was. I have my setup in mind of how we're going to set up for efficiency. That's what I do. I set my equipment up to be efficient, to be productive, right? And so that it's easy for us to do everything that we want to do. I was actually a little bit thrown off because the planner decided that she wanted to do some different things. And so that made me leave some things at home that I would have taken to have been prepared. Like number one, those crates that I had where I was going to put the shirts in there and do the individual folding. So they wanted to put shirts out on the table, which I know better. And so shirts ended up getting in disarray. The way that the setup was, we tested out the QR code last night for the first time. And how the QR code works is it was a sign that said, let me see if I have it. I don't have it over there. We had a sign that said fresh baked teas. Scan the QR code to get started. And it had the QR code. And then up underneath it, it said, we will text you once the order is ready. Amazing, amazing idea. So they scanned the QR code, and when you scan the QR code, it took you to the customizer. And so with the customizer app, what you're able to do is your clients scan it, it takes them there, they see the four designs, they select a design, then they select the t-shirt color that they want the design on. And then we had an option to either do a custom name on the back or a number, or you could get both. So it asks you, would you like to customize the back with a name, number, or both, or none? Those were the check boxes, right? And then if you select name only, it skips you to that section. If you select both, it skips you to that selection. If you select none, it skips you on. So after you fill everything out, it asks you if you would like to, let's see, while we're on here, see how many names that how many emails we captured. So within all of that, as you're doing it, it will ask you, would you like to get a catalog from us? And I'm going to kind of try to show you guys. So this is the customizer. If I can go on up. So those, you could see the shirts, and those are the blank shirts, and then the questions. So when we go in, okay, so we got 79 responses, and these are all of the responses. So within this, what it did is it captured their name, email, and phone number. So let me see how many of them we got. In order for you to even get a shirt, you had to fill out the form, right? So we do have some no's on would you like to receive a custom catalog. So out of 79, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 18. Looks like we have about 18 people who said no, right? That will not go on the list. So out of 79 people that signed up, we have about 18 that said no. So that's about 60 people, 60, 61 people that we will be able to add to our email list, right? Okay. So once you have the email, then you can email market to them. This will also go over to the client. Now, everybody did not did not scan. You only had to scan it if you wanted the customization. So it's a great idea in concept, and I try these things, and then I have to go back sometimes. It may not work as I wanted it to work. So what happened is people scanned it, and when they scanned it, I had a lot of people waiting on this long list because we were in a dark atmosphere. I'm going to put up the video pretty soon about it, but we were in a dark atmosphere, right? And that was created with Google Forms, Keisha. So we were in a really dark atmosphere, and it was hard for my son to see the back of the numbers. The stalls, names, and numbers work perfectly, right? I went to Michael's, and I found a little box that had 2-inch squares and was able to put them in there. The problem, the problem was that when we peeled the numbers, you couldn't tell which side to lay them on because it was so dark in there. And so I was like scraping them with my finger to try to, so it slowed down the process. That slowed down the process. The other thing that slowed down the process is that it left Ken trying to figure out what shirts to print. He was standing there. Z was over here busy. I'm trying to look at the spreadsheet and see who gets this name and that name to help my son. And on the fly, once I seen that list hit 50 people, I shut that list down, y'all, at that 79. I shut it down. I went to snatching QR codes down, honey, because sometimes you got to pivot. I knew it was going to break bad. I said, if we get 200 people to sign up for this list, up to scan this QR code, there's no way we're going to do 200 customizations because I saw how slow it was going. So I turned and I looked at Ken and I said, Ken, I need you to start printing. And he was like, print what? I said, print me 4 of those in each size, 4 of these, 4 of those, and start folding them up and put them on the table. At that same time, I tell my son, do the best that you can, go down that list. And then I jumped out there in front because we had a bar that was in front of us. I jumped out there, you could barely hear me. And so I had to really, really make my voice protrude. And y'all know I'm naturally a loud talker. So I was almost screaming to people to get them to hear me. So as people were coming up and they were trying to scan the QR code, I said, you know what? Hey, if you want to have it customized with the name and the number on the back, we've got about 50 people in queue right now, but you can do that, or you can just jump over here, grab this shirt, take it over there to the printer, and he'll pick one of those designs and he'll print it, and you don't have to wait. I started diverting traffic, honey, because I had to think quickly, because it was going to go bad. It was going to go bad, and nobody was going to have shirts. We had to think really, really quickly, right? So I switched it up real quick, on the fly, and it started working. And we had to, when I'm out there and I'm doing stuff, you got to be interactive, grab a t-shirt, spin it around, you know what I'm saying? Um, I told Ken, looked at my husband and I said, okay, come on, babe. Come on. I need you to turn it on up. I need you to shake a little something, And I'm looking at my son, and, they some good looking men, honey. And so we works it all. You got to work every angle that you got, you know. Z had a lady, y'all. She was an older lady. And this one lady, she just kept bringing my son drinks. She kept offering him drinks. And then he was like, I'm working, ma'am. She was like, oh, no, ma'am, me. And so I told him, I said, oh, well, go ahead and be sociable, because you can be sociable. So that lady, I tell you, I was like, is this lady trying to hit on you, baby? Gave him a whole bottle of Jack Daniels before we left. But it was nice. It was really, really nice. I'm going to get ready to get off of here. Anybody have any questions? I'm answering any questions that y'all have tonight. As I eat this ice cream, I'm supposed to be detoxing, but my ice cream, I'm decided I was going to eat ice cream while I talk to y'all. So I did use the Google form, y'all, to create that customizer. And I'm going to use it again. I just have to do some thinking and a little bit more organizing, but it's going to be amazing. Hey, T. Lamont, how are you? How are you, and how is business, and how are you promoting? Okay. There most definitely is a way to use your WordPress page, your WordPress blog, to make a landing page. So your blog page in WordPress is your post page, right? I don't know what you're using as a builder in your WordPress, but I use Elementor. So within that, you can definitely make that landing page. So let's say, for example, if I'm doing that customizer, right, and let's say I'm out and I've got the QR code, and I want you to scan the QR code, but I don't want you to go to the main page of the website, because there's too much information. You don't know where to go. You're at an event, or I just want you to get the information that you're going to get. Let's say, for example, that I'm using a drawing as a lead magnet. You click the QR code. The QR code can actually take you to the post page. And within the post page, soon as that post pops up, right, I would have a pop-up to sign up with your email, to collect the email, phone number, or whatever it is that you're collecting, right? So you get that information. Once they put their email in there, it closes, and then it opens up that landing page. And then that landing page has all the information that you're wanting to share with them. It could also be that landing page has downloadable information if you're using lead magnets, where you're doing like ebooks, accessing a free ebook, or whatever it is that you're doing. So that would be fine. So as long as you're not sharing that link, I would not make it private. I would make it unlisted. So, and then that link is only being shared with other people. So within WordPress, when you go to a page, over on the right hand side It tells you how to publish it, save it as a draft, make it private, make it unlisted, whatever it is that you want to do. Because if you make it private, or some of them you can lock and you can have a passcode. So that's where you would do that at. So nobody would find it on their own. Anybody have any questions tonight about building your business? I'm going to tell you guys, if you are on here and you've been following me for a year, you have a heat press, you purchase product, and you're not making sales, I want to know about it. I want to know about it because here's the thing, y'all. I'm going to talk about this soon, but when you get into business, so many people believe that, tell me if you can relate to this. You decided that you want to start a business, and then you buy all of this merchandise or products, you buy equipment, you buy a heat press, you buy a printer, and you expect for friends and family to support you in your business. And then you start looking at people in the industry, whether it be that you are following YouTubers and you're seeing what looks like success with them, and you think that, oh, if I just bought the new Cricut, and if I just had that new machine, if I just had this new paper they came out with, or if I just had that ink, then I could build my business. Tell me if you could relate, right? Tell me if you could relate to that. Because what I'm seeing out here on some of the platforms and in the industry, and I'm really it really bothers me, because when I started Lady Print Boss, I started to help people, right? And I think that there are so many people now that are, sometimes you don't want to feel like you don't know nothing, right? Like, hey, I don't know anything, and I am afraid to ask somebody because I may feel like I'm stupid, or, people think that, hey, I don't know anything or something like that. Because I run into people like that all the time that, won't ask for help because they know everything. They think they know everything, or you go and you follow certain people. And every time you click on a video, they're selling you something. I'm doing an unboxing. I've got this, and let me show you the new paper, the new this, the new that. You have to be able to differentiate and to use discernment to know when people are pitching to you, when you're becoming a consumer and not a business person. Tell me in the comments, are you a small business, a crafter? Do you work from home? Are you a garage printer working from home, or are you like a freestanding business? Like, let's have a real candid conversation. Because what I see is people purchasing different things. Like, you may have 4 heat presses, you have a mug press, you have a cap press, you have a this press and a that press, and you could have a regular heat press, a mug press, and a cap press. But if you find yourself switching from, hey, I tried this press and it doesn't work. Now, if I could only get this, or if I try this paper, this sublimation paper, this sublimation paper is better than this sublimation paper, and this and that. And you're finding yourself going from product to product to product to product. And you're digging a hole and not making any money. Then you're going backwards, and you need to reevaluate the situation. And you need to reevaluate why you wanted to start a business in the first place. Is it because you just want to be a crafter and you just want to sell a few items? Or is it that you really want to make a goal with this and this be all that you do? I've set a goal to make $40,000 a month. $40,000 a month working at home. I made Ken quit his damn job because I need it. So that we can build this business back to where it was and beyond. You can do it. You can do it too. And this is what I'm going to tell y'all. If you found, I will give anybody on here a free consultation. It's how real I am. Okay? That's part of Lady Print story. I do this because I want to, not because I have to. This YouTube thing is not. I probably make about $500 a month on YouTube. We eat it. It's enough to pay a bill or something like that, but it's not a major source of income to me. So I can be as real as I want to be with y'all. You know, and not knocking anybody that um that does this, because YouTube is a business, right? I am not a YouTuber. I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I am a small business owner that uses YouTube as a platform to give back to people in the community. So I don't consider myself a YouTuber. I'm a YouTuber. I get on as a YouTuber. I get on YouTube to show you guys how to do crafts and things like that. But I've done some soul searching, and like I've told y'all here lately, is that I'm not for showing you things that's not going to help you make money or income from it. I'm just not. I'm not. Y'all are going to have to get away from dollar store items that y'all going to be mad at me. But if you going to make real money in this business, you can't be buying stuff. It's some things you can get, right? It's some things you can get. But we're talking about quality, right? And you want to make big money. And y'all know that a lot of these dollar store items don't be right, right? We all go to it and we get it. But a lot of these hacks and things that you can do, this is on a crafting level. It's on a crafting level. And you have to start thinking big if you want to be big, right? You want to boss up and be a boss at the head of your game, right? You want to be, you want to get, you want to build your business, and you want to build your name, and you want to build your brand on quality, right? You want to build your brand on quality. I can't tell you the last time that I printed on a Gildan shirt. I print on it all day, every day, if that's what the customers want. But what I'm telling you is that I've built a name of prestige to where when people come to me, they want quality. And within building that, there was one reason that I went in and built that. Well, a couple. I wanted better customers, first of all. Better customers. For me, it spends more money. I'm in it for the money. When I first got into it as a young girl, I love fashion, I love designing. At 53 years old, I'm in it for the money. If it don't make money, it doesn't make sense. And I should be I should be a millionaire by now. I should. I should be a millionaire by now. I've done pretty good for myself. I have properties and all of that. But I should be a millionaire by now. I chose to take care of family and do other things and I live good. But I want people to learn from my journey so it don't take you 23, 25 years to get there, right? It doesn't need to take you that long to get there. With social media and with all the things that are out here now, it doesn't take that long for you to get there, right? So here's the deal. Y'all ain't gonna like me. Y'all ain't gonna like me when I say this, but I can't keep wasting time on YouTube. So I'm just, and there's a lot of people that's not gonna like it, but I'm gonna tell y'all like it is. There's only, you can only go so far with crafting equipment, right? You can only go so far with, if you have, when you get started, it's okay. When you get started and you get your heat press, a heat press, everybody needs a heat press no matter what level you're on. Whether you are screen printing, um, whatever it is that you're doing in print business, you need a heat press. A heat press is a key thing that you need in your shop, in your home shop, right? But let's talk about, where do you go from there, right? You got a heat press. If you're able to do some type of digital printing like sublimation, right? This is where you have to start thinking about money and income and being smart, right? You got to start thinking about being smart and what products or what processes, printing processes we're talking about, is going to help you make the most income that you can make in the least amount of time. Most people start out with vinyl. Vinyl is time consuming because you have to design it, then you got to cut the vinyl, then you have to pick the vinyl, and the weeding process slows you down. So you limited with the amount of shirts that you can make, right? Every time you look at a t-shirt, you got to think about money. How many t-shirts can I make an hour? Because t-shirts is money. Ching, ching, ching. Money, money, money. When I think about, that's why when somebody calls me for one t-shirt, even if I sell it for $25 and it takes me 30 minutes to make it, that ain't no money. It ain't no money. Okay? Sometimes you can get held up with these crickets and these silhouettes all day long. So what I'm telling y'all is, while it's okay to get started with vinyl, it comes a time that you got to move on. Now, sublimation machines do not clog as much as these other machines. You may get a little sublimation clog every now and then, but it ain't going to be nothing like a lot of these other processes, right? You want equipment that's going to keep you printing. I've done a lot of thinking on this, y'all. In 2000, I was doing inkjet transfers and I was making a minimum of $800 per day. And I worked 4 days per week. And I made a minimum of $800 going in at 12 noon, working to 9. I made a minimum of $800 in 2000, right? In 2000. And there are people in 2023 that can't pull it in. My first cutter was the eyeline, and that thing went boom, boom, boom. I could cut, honey, I could cut 100 shirts. So what I'm telling y'all is that why crafting, you have to move from crafting equipment into professional equipment as you build your business. It's okay to start out with the silhouette. Y'all see me on the channel with a silhouette. The only reason I ever bought a silhouette is because people asked me to do silhouette classes. I was using the eyeline and grafted. Only reason I ever bought a silhouette is for classes. If you got a silhouette and a crooked and another crooked and a crooked maker and a this and a that, you a YouTuber, okay? Because it doesn't take all that when you're running a real business, right? If you have, you can have, like, I may use my silhouette once in a month or something like that for an actual client, right? But that's not the main part of my business. And this is why I'm telling y'all, with sublimation, you have the ability, because with sublimation, it's going to come out the printer. The print's going to come out dry. Honey, you can whip out 100 prints. Whoop, 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 whoop. Right? Especially if you're doing keychains, small items, right? Whoop, 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 whoop. You can whoop that out. You can press, press, press. It's money in sublimation. It's money in sublimation. You have to know how to market the sublimation, right? For me, when we started with the t-shirts, we ended up marketing sublimation products. I've been marketing sublimation a long time, but now that I found another lane, okay, it's time for me to get back into marketing sublimation. And the reason I choose sublimation is because I can make money at it fast, right? If you are using a silhouette or crooked, I'm telling y'all, grow your business, make enough money off of those machines, and get away from. Honestly, people who are in the industry and really making money don't have crickets. None of them have crickets. You got a few that have the silhouettes. Even when you get up into the 20-inch silhouette, you could go honestly and buy a cheap 24-inch cutter from a company like Sign Warehouse. If you're doing vinyl, if I was doing vinyl right now, and vinyl was the only method I had to make money, I would go buy me a 24 36-inch cutter for about $500 without an optical eye, because I'm not worried about printing cut. I'm worried about producing. And as long as the tracking on it is decent and I spend $500-600 on it, I'm going to make my money, and I'm going to make it fast. Don't worry about it being a name brand piece of equipment. Okay. It's only a few of us on here, but I'm going to give y'all some real shit tonight. I'm the same girl that, how much money has those cheap presses made me now? Made me over $40,000 on that $150 Amazon screen print press that everybody on YouTube say don't buy. Skill. Focus on skill. I buy products that are equipment that's going to make money. Point blank, period. If I was into embroidery and I use that little embroidery machine that I have, and I saw that I could make money in embroidery, I would jump straight on and get, as soon as I built it up, I'm going from that little one needle to get me a better machine, right? You should not be buying a Cricut and then buying a Silhouette because you still stuck in the same category as far as money goes. How many shirts can you make an hour on your Cricut? How many shirts can you make an hour on your Silhouette? And can you do it consistently for 8 hours? And how much money? What is the top amount of money? The most amount of money? Think about it. What is the most amount of money that you've been able to make in a day using the products? I can tell you, I can take $150 screen print press, and honey, I can press 60 shirts an hour. Now, I ain't going to do it all day because I'm older. But out there, 60 shirts an hour, I can give you 4 hours consistently, 240 shirts. Ken can work that at 100 shirts an hour. Okay. And he can do it for 8 hours off that press. Off probably 5, 6 jobs off that press, I've made over $4,000. I got four of them, by the way. So when I say off that press, I've got four of them, but I use them if somebody, I've got two to the side and then two that are in operation of the cheap presses. And then I have the other the other two Vastex presses. And people ask me all the time, why would you buy that? And you're a seasoned professional. Because I'm a boss and I can do what I want. After you get so far in business, you know that it's not, you use the equipment for what it's good for. And what those are good for is 1 and 2 color designs to take you to the next level and get you where you need to be. Now, I use them because they are lightweight. I had a lady call me the other day that I trained in 2015, and her Styles Hydronics has died on her. And we had a conversation about what type of heat press that she should buy. She asked me, should she buy a Geonite? And I told her, she said, hey, um, I can't really um, afford another one of those right now. And I said, well, don't buy one. Don't buy one. People get kind of, when I say, well, what type of press do you have? People sometimes hesitate to tell me, oh, I have an Amazon press, or I have just a cheap press. Honey, I don't care. Let me tell you something. If you buy an Amazon press and you spend $150 on it and you use that press for a year and you consistently doing shirts and making money, buy one the next year if it breaks down. I bought the HTV Runt press. I turned around, I bought another one, even though I told y'all this is not a press that I would use in my shop. I knew I was going to use it for live events. I was looking for lightweight. I'm looking for lightweight things that make money. If it makes money, if I did the event and that press broke after that event, I wouldn't care. Okay? I honestly would not care because guess what? I made enough money off of it that one day. So I use things for what it's worth. You don't have to have the best equipment. It doesn't have to be purchased brand new. You can find really, really good equipment out here. I bought two automatic screen printing machines. The first one I paid $6,000 for. I flew to Philadelphia to get it, and then I paid a guy another, I think, $3,000 or so to bring it to Texas for me. And then I paid someone another $1,200 to put it together. I still came out way better than I would have if I had purchased it new. The second automatic screen printing machine I bought it for $6,000, and I paid a guy to go to Arkansas and get it. I think I ended up about maybe about $9,000 for it, right? $30,000 machines. My Vastex V1000, I paid $600 for that press, used a $4,000 press. My other Vastex, I paid maybe $400 or $500 for it. Same thing. So that's what I'm just telling you is that it's not always about having the shiniest equipment or the best equipment. It's about knowing how to market yourself and learning how to use the equipment that you have. Y'all stop becoming consumers. YouTube has become a place where people now just sell you dreams, right? Sell you dreams, and you see people and they doing something. You're like, oh, I can go do that, right? So you end up purchasing products from them, and oh, I want to do rhinestones, so I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna get these and boom boom boom, and you never, because you don't know because you haven't done research. Oh, I could go over here and find it here. I can do this, and you don't know because you don't know the quality of rhinestones. You don't know the quality of t-shirts or the quality of whatever merchandise it is, right? Or you don't know when you purchase, somebody says, oh, I'm doing an unboxing and I got this so and so, right? And I'm going to try this and look at this new printer. You don't know that them people sent that printer to somebody and now they're using it, and then you see a couple of videos and then you don't see it anymore. That's why I'm telling y'all. You don't need anything but a cutter, a heat press. If you may not even need a cutter, just depending on what it is that you're doing, right? A cutter, a heat press, a printer. Now printers, I believe you need more than one printer. You need a printer for your office work. If you're doing regular office work, I always keep an inkjet printer because I believe that inkjet printers come in handy in the eco tanks, especially for just doing office work and then for doing last minute transfer jobs. I'm still a big proponent of inkjet heat transfers because there is a place in the market for it for doing last minute things that people are going to only wear a few times. Sublimation, I'm a big proponent of sublimation printers. I think everyone should have a sublimation printer. Um, and if you have a sublimation printer, I'm not concerned about sublimation inks drying up like I am about other things. Even the Eco Solvent inks that I sell, those printers, you still have to run them. Just real honesty, y'all. Okay. Okay. Let me go up here, and CTR is on here. Hey girl, I don't know if I spoke to you yet. Um, okay. T. Lamont says, I'm about to get some yard signs. Are you getting yard signs to sell, to make and sell, or yard signs to put in the yard to advertise your business? Um, so T. Lamont says, I'm not making sales like I said because I'm in the boondocks. Okay. So I'm going to tell you something, and it's going to be real, okay? Because I told y'all that tonight I'm not going, well, I'm going to go jump back up to Keisha's question, and then I'm going to talk about that. But I told y'all I'm gonna be real, keep it 100 with y'all tonight on everything that I say 100. Okay, so Keisha says, should I change my own domain or pay someone else to do it? Okay, Keisha, so you're saying should you change your own domain or pay someone else to do it? It needs to be changed to your new name. So, what I want to ask you is, did you purchase a new domain name? And you need to change the name servers on your domain, you need to change the name servers from your new domain to point to your old domain. That's what I'm thinking you're asking about, the name servers. Or are you saying that you need to buy a domain? Because if you have a new domain, if you purchase a new domain, and you still have the old name, I would use both of them until they run out. I would point the new name to the other name through either through domain forwarding, which would just point it to it. But the problem with that is, unless if it's like GoDaddy, then it will mask the domain name. So let's say if the domain name is John, it would show up as if it's that, but it won't show up on Google when the search engines hit it. It won't show up as a new domain. So you would really want to point the old name server. You want to switch the name servers to hit that domain, and then the old name, take it and just forward it, if that makes sense. And if you need help with it, just let me know. Um, but you could do it. You could actually do it yourself. Who did you purchase the domain from? Because depending on who you purchase the domain from, you should be able to. If it's GoDaddy, they'll help you. They'll do it for you. If it's cheapdomains.com, you can call them. They'll do it. IONOS, they will do it for you. So a lot of them will do it for you. Even my host Pressable, they'll do it for you. If I call them, they'll do mine for me also. But it's really easy to do. Okay. Now, so T Lamont, you're not making sales because you're in the boondocks. Okay. In this day and age, you can make sales from anywhere. Okay. You can make sales from anywhere. Um, Buy the domain, go to GoDaddy and see if you can buy the domain from GoDaddy. GoDaddy had 99-cent domains the other day. Yeah, there was 99 cents. Go over there and see if you could purchase it, and then you can send it over, or from you can buy from Bluehost, whoever you're gonna buy from. It's a real easy, quick fix. Okay, so T Lamont, you're not making sales because you're in the boondocks. This is the thing. If you're in the boonies, you should be making sales. Because this is the thing. When you are far away, and normally that means that there's not that much competition around you. That's what it normally means. See, like out here where I'm at, I've already checked to see who's the competition, and I've been to 3 different shops, y'all. One shop I walked in, they recognized me right off the bat. They just said, "What you doing in here?" I said, "Oh, damn." So, but if you are a ways outside the city or whatever in the boonies, and you need to check and see if there's competition around you. The problem is that You need to advertise in that local area, and you may need to advertise on the outskirts and branch out. You can ship. You can do, there's so much stuff that you can do nowadays, to where location doesn't matter if you set up shipping. And everyone should have a shipping account. Everyone should have a shipping account. Like, you've got so many different, like me, I go straight through UPS, FedEx, UPS, uh US Postal Service. I go straight through those. Some people use pirate ship. um what is the one that I used to have? I can't think of it, but there's so many different ways that you can ship now. You need to get a shipping account, right? But and shipping accounts don't cost anything, y'all. It doesn't cost anything. But what you have to do is, if you're far away from anybody, you got to get online. You got to make that app, that online presence. Online presence is key. So you jump online and build your online presence, and then you will start getting customers, right? And you need to have some kind of way for them to call you, because y'all, honestly, family, friends, cousins, uh, girlfriends, boyfriends, they ain't getting it. They not gonna take you to the next level. They're just not. That's what I have to say on that. Keisha says that's what I did, sitting on equipment I barely use because I outsource now. I'm not really sure what part of the conversation that was about, but yeah, I mean, just sitting on equipment. Um, Keisha, I know that you have screen printing equipment. I would not, and I'm gonna tell y'all this here. I just wouldn't have a whole lot of stuff just sitting around, but if you are outsourcing, it's great, right? But here's the key with outsourcing, especially outsourcing these transfers and things like that. Everybody and their mama making transfers now. Some of them, the quality is good. Some of them, they ain't. Even these big companies, y'all know, our TKO, you on my shit list. Okay? TKO is on my shit list. Sold me those transfers, and honey, they garbage. Not only was they garbage, the customer service at TKO is terrible, terrible, terrible. The worst. I can't wait to see them at a show. Because trust and believe, if they do me like that, TKO's quality, I would never ever. But y'all, that's a whole video. I already did thumbnail and everything, so I can't even go into that. So let's keep it pushing. Let's keep it pushing and stay on point. Um, okay. Every time you turn on some YouTubers, I'm not sure what Mel talking about right now. I want to, some YouTubers probably selling something. That's probably what she's saying. Okay, so this is a good one, Keisha. Keisha wants to create a monthly newsletter, but is unsure of what to include in it because she doesn't have any fancy equipment to show off. Any tips on what to share with share your brand story? That's what you're going to share. Share your brand story. You don't have to have fancy equipment. Keisha, so many people out here are using stock images from Adobe stock. Honey, they not showing their equipment. Okay? A lot of people are using stock images. You don't have to show equipment when equipment is not going to make me want to buy from you. Equipment is not going to make me want to buy from you. I'm going to want to buy from you because I see something, I see a product that I like. I also And within you selling your products, share your story. If you're doing a newsletter, what's going on new at such and such place? Okay, like if I was doing a newsletter right now, my monthly newsletter would be, hey, April 15th, uh launching digital um full color digital prints at our live screen print, blah blah blah. If I'm doing something for T-shirt Shop Dallas, I am if I'm doing something for T-shirt Shop Dallas, then it may include the fact that we are now doing custom caps, right? And then I may take a couple of stock photos, or I may actually print some caps and put those up there and show, hey, we're doing flock, and this is what the flock looks like. We're doing this 3D effect. This is what we have. Like right now, it's about to be, what is this? Is it? Are we in spring? So I would do what's going on for the month of such and such. What you got going on, right? If you're doing a newsletter, it may be something with the Easter special, something that you're doing with kids, or something that you're doing within the community, things like that. Make it personal to your brand and to your brand story. I hope that helps. But you don't have, it does not have to be, it can be what's coming up, what you have coming up, what's going on in business. It can just be something that relates to your customers, right? It doesn't even have to be your product. It can be a new, let's say, for example, that another company, one of your distributors, has dropped something, and you're sharing that in your newsletter. Like, for example, remember when I told y'all about Alpha Broder, how you could go in and Alpha Broder had all of those different marketing templates and things out there for you? Go in there, sis. Look and see what's going on, what they coming out with for April, what's the sale, or for May. Snatch that, right? Turn around, revamp it, customize it, and put it out there. And you good to go. Mel is working in a small business with a room and a garage area. Me too, sis. Small business working from home. I'm telling y'all, as a small business, people talk crap about small businesses, but as a small business, you can make your money. You can make your money. Okay? It's probably going to take me, so for the next week, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to woosah and I'm going to chill. In order for me to hit my goals, I'm going to tell you what I do. So in my business, what I do is, and this is what I love about being able to work from home. In my business, what I do is I come out and I hit them hard, and then I get back and I go back and I recoup. So I'm recouping now. But I come out hard. I come out with a marketing plan. So today is the 7th. I'm going to relax and plan my marketing strategy. By the 15th, I'm going to come out hard and we're going to start back hitting them, right? And so what I do is, and this is what I'm about to do. I'm actually about to add something into it, but we're getting ready to do a email promotion and upgrade all social media platforms, do some things like that. And then I told Ken today, for T-shirt Shop Dallas, I have to take it back to the street. Got to go back to my foundation, to my roots, what I'm good at. Okay. Remember I told y'all I like to see people in person. So, about to create this new price list and flyer, and go out and hit this pavement, and go, because there are too many businesses near me, which opens up a lot of doors. So right now, I am sitting back and researching my competition. If you don't research your competition, you're crazy. And because if you don't think that your competition is researching you, um, I'm sorry, but they are. So, what happens when you research your competition? When I research my competition, I look at a lot of things. I've checked out two screen printing shops or two printing shops. One is a shop that has vinyl, but they outsource screen printing. So I went in and I checked out their shop. And when I say checking out shops, I don't really check prices. Like I don't check other people's prices now. There was a time that I used to go out and I used to check prices, but I don't check people's prices now because I'm gonna beat you with skill. That's my mindset. I'm gonna beat you with skill, or I'm gonna try to figure out some kind of way that we can work together and make money together. So, a couple of places that are around that I went and looked at. The first place I walked into, it's totally empty when I walk in. And when I walked in, my mindset said, "Ooh, they're about to go out of business, honey." Now, if I think that, what's a customer going to think when they walk in? Are they going to really, customer walks into your establishment and they look and it's empty, all the shelves are empty and everything. Are they going to trust that you're the person to do their job? Or are they going to kind of be a little bit reluctant? So the first store that I went into, not going to be no competition. The second store I went into, I never got into it because they're always closed. Phone always rings out. So I'm gonna hit them with where their weakness is. They don't answer their phones. And their open time is from 10 to 5. I start answering my phones at 8 a.m. Tell y'all, that's the way you can get a lot of money and get people. If businesses around you open at 10 a.m., answer your phone at 9 a.m. Put on Google that you open at 9 a.m. If they close at 6 p.m., you close at 7 p.m. And then you look at for their weak points. And wherever that company has weak points, you make sure that you highlight in your marketing that you're strong on that point, right? If their customer service is weak, yours is great, right? If their prices are dirt cheap, your prices are not dirt cheap, but you provide quality at an affordable service, at an affordable price, right? Because we're not playing the dirty on the down. I'm going to be cheaper than you. Don't do that. Don't do that. Charge what you need to charge to make your money. Charge what you need to charge to be able to make a living, right? Because whenever you try to be the cheapest printer, like me, sometimes I'm on Amazon and I'm shopping for products and I see something and it's too cheap and I'm like, oh no, I ain't gonna go get that, right? You have certain people who are looking for the cheapest of cheap. And then you have certain people who are looking for quality at an affordable price. And then you have people who are looking for premium stuff and they're willing to pay a little bit more because your customer service is better because they know that your order is going to be on time. So say it in your advertisements. We have a 99.9% on time rate. We guarantee that you're going to have your product within a certain amount of time if you are able to rise to the challenge, right? If you can't, then don't do it. Don't make promises that you can't keep because Once you give somebody your word is your bond. And if you don't keep it, honey, they got Google and they'll slander you. So I always try to look at competition, see how far competition is away from me, and then hit them hard. Do things that they're not doing, right? You can look at your competition and you can say, hmm, okay, the only thing that this company targets is sports. Well, I don't want to target sports. So I'm going to target this. Or you can look at it and you can say, okay, they offer their time frame is 10 days. Can I beat Miss Latana's time frame? Can I do? A lot of people could compete with me if they can beat my time frame. That's where you can compete with me. If you're in my local market and you can beat my time frame, that's where you can compete with me. You can get all those jobs that I'm telling you, honey, I can't help it, right? You want to get yourself busy and schedule out. And then when customers call you, is you have to be firm on things. So, just a couple of little tidbits, right? Mel says she left vinyl after 1 month. Praise the Lord, right? Now I'm gonna tell y'all, um, there are some uses for vinyl that I still like. Not really. Um, I like the effect of glitter vinyl of like silver versus screen printed glitter. I do like that. I like to, so when I say vinyl, I'm not thinking of vinyl. I use foils. I like to use foils in screen printing. I think that within vinyl, there are certain things that you can use like special to create specialty effects and things like that. That's where you will make your money. Especially if you're doing like caps. Like I love these 3D where they're taking 3 layers of felt and then putting the vinyl on top of it to give you that 3D effect with a cap. I think that you can really make money because caps cost more, right? Especially if you pair it with the right cap. Because here's the thing, with the caps and with this type of printing, right? When you're doing what they're doing now is they're just printing like the outline. So kind of like a sticker, right? And then on top, you could pair that with like a printable vinyl or a DTF transfer or screen print transfer or something like that. You have to remember that you got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to make all of that. So you have to charge accordingly for that cap. But you're able to get then what you'd be able to get for a embroidered cap that is what is the word, um the embroidered caps with the very very thick stitching. I can't think of it, but it's a real cool effect. But for the most part, um break away from vinyl when you can on t-shirts. Now, where could a silhouette or a cricket really excel? Home goods. I think people sleep on home goods, y'all. There's a market out there for making home goods. These little signs and things, honey, they killing it. The welcome signs, $70, $80, they killing it. Jumping on that, there's a market for that. There's a market for home goods out there. Big market. Okay, here we go. Come on with it, Mel. Mel says that graph text for rhinestones, stickers, and decals. There you go. Come on with it. Come on with it. And it's gonna be faster. It's gonna be faster, y'all. You're gonna speed up, right? Um, CTR says, I've been focused on making money from my business. That's why I haven't been on YouTube lately, and I'm not sorry. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because I think it all the time. Sometimes people hit me and they say, hey, you're not on YouTube. Where you at? This, and other. If tonight I'm on YouTube, because baby, the boss lady that made her money in the paper bag is fat. And so she can sit down now and do a Friday night talk and be on here for 2 hours and play with y'all. But I can't be on here every day. If you on YouTube every day and you following somebody and they on YouTube every day, they're a YouTuber. That's how they make their money. That's how they make their money on YouTube. Or they trying aspiring to make money on YouTube, right? But as business owners, you cannot watch and follow. If you are a serial YouTube follower, you need to check yourself into the YouTube rehab. Okay. The reason I say that is because if you're spending all of your time on YouTube under the facade that you are learning and that you're learning and you are researching, at some point you gotta stop researching, sis, brother. You gotta stop researching and you gotta start becoming a real business. I don't want to tell y'all that because I don't want to see y'all saying, well, I'm not going to get on YouTube and watch with you. But if you do, then hey, that's you. Because, like I say, it ain't but 10 people on here, right? It ain't but 10 people on here. We're a small YouTube channel. So, I just like to tell y'all, try to keep it 100, try to be real with you, and let y'all know, hey, but CTR, that is great. You can build your YouTube channel, but at the end of the day, you still have to, it's all about your livelihood. And sometimes you just cannot edit videos. You don't have time. And that's why I tell people all the time. I remember people used to come on and say, well, you need to do this to your video, or you need to do that. Baby, look here. I ain't got time to be editing these videos like that. Sometimes y'all see me, I make a thumbnail. If you get a thumbnail, you get a transition, a nice little transition or something, a nice little spin around, be happy with it, because it took me time to do that. And that meant that I was just doing it in my spare time. And that's when a boss lady ain't really got nothing to do. Okay. So you can't be on YouTube all the time. You cannot be on YouTube all the time. I'm proud of you. Congratulations. Let's see here. CTR Shirt says, I told A-Dub about your screen printing classes because her needs some help. Well, honey, I am always here to help anybody that really wants to be helped. And thank you. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. Okay. So y'all, I do have a screen printing class coming up in Dallas. I do have a screen printing class coming up. I believe it's the 19th and the 20th. The 19th and the 20th. Is it April or May? May. I want to say May. It's on the website. It's either the 19th and the 20th that it's coming up. So we are ready. Ready, ready, ready. I am ready. And I'm only doing 3 screen printing classes this year. I am going to do my annual Make Money Screen Printing Business. I'm going to do that. But I'm only doing 3 screen printing classes, a couple of marketing classes. I'm sorry, a couple of press it for profit classes. But I'm getting more into, I want to focus more on marketing and sales and promoting your business, because I think that's where people really need help. And I'm not, was telling somebody today is that my skill is on, so I'm a business owner, right? And as a business owner, um I don't really consider myself like a teacher. Like, I consider myself a teacher, but I'm not a baby you type teacher, right? I'm not going to get here on YouTube and talk to you like a baby. So I think that sometimes people don't receive me correctly, as genuine as I am, because I'm so real. I give it to you so raw that, you know, I'm the consultant that you're going to come to because you need to be held accountable for things. That's just going to tell you the truth, right? And I've decided that I'm not going to do any affiliate marketing this year. I'm not going to do any affiliate marketing this year because that's my stand. In order for me to do any type of marketing or anything with the company, I will disclose it to y'all. And it would have to be, the deal would have to be real. Like, it has to be products that I truly, truly believe in, because I'm so sick and tired of people saying, hey, yeah, this, I tried this, and this is where you need to go, and this is the best transfers, and this is the best this, or try this and try that. And then people are just buying stuff and buying stuff. And then people turn around and they call me and they like, hey, I can't figure out how to get this sublimation. I don't even know how to, you know, it doesn't make any sense, because it's just like taking people's money and making you a consumer, when what I'm trying to do is help people focus on business and grow business, to change the mindset, right? And you can't change your mindset when you're on craft level. So it makes me, at this point, it makes me say, why am I even on YouTube? I need to start back focusing on just on business, on my classes, the people who come to me from the outside that are spending money, and not focus on YouTube. Sometimes it makes me think that way. I don't want to be like that, and I don't want to think that way, because there are a few people that are here on YouTube that are really, really trying to level up. And how do you level up if you don't realize that if somebody doesn't say something to you and you hear it, right? It's like that big auntie that's telling you, girl, you over there tripping. You study doing this, you study doing that, and you don't see it unless somebody tells it to you, right? Um, okay. Reaching Higher said, what's your take on drop shipping, whereas the products are outsourced? So here's my take on drop shipping. If you are set, let's say you as someone is drop shipping the product for you in your business name, as long as that drop shipper is providing a quality product, it's absolutely nothing wrong with drop shipping. And you can make a whole lot of money at it. I drop ship banners and things like that. So if customers come to me and they want banners or business cards, things like that, that stuff is outsourced. My drop shipper drop ships that to them. It does not have any of their information on it. It looks like it's coming from me. As long as it looks like it's coming from me, I'm fine with it. And what a way to make money and not do anything. Like literally, like literally, I take their artwork, upload it. If I have to create something, then I create it, charge them a fee for that, upload it, and it's shipping to you. Especially if you are an e-commerce business and you are training your customers to buy online. You can call me, I got you. It takes away, especially when it's things that like I don't do, right? Or I don't want to do. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. I'm right now trying to work out something with someone about doing my embroidery. I don't want to do embroidery. I don't have time to do embroidery. I was talking to an officer last night and I said, hey, I outsource embroidery. The only thing about it is where the downfalls come in with outsourcing is when you have a outsource, when you outsource to a drop shipper that cannot deliver, or that they deliver a faulty product, right? If they deliver a faulty product, then it becomes a problem. So, you just have to, I would tell you to look up your drop shippers. If they're a national company, you want to, so like how sometimes people go on to, so I had Teespring hit me up and they were like, hey, Latana, we can add to your website to where if you want to do individual items, we can ship out those individual items to your customers. So in order for me to do that, I would want to see a sample of their printing first, right? Um, as far as me, I would prefer to deal with someone local, if at all possible. If not, then it is what it is. But I prefer to deal with somebody local. In my business, I don't do any drop shipping. But when I have customers so the way that I deal with it is I have customers who are trying to build a brand, or companies, and they want to have stuff drop shipped out to like individual employees. There are drop shippers here that you can take stuff to or send it to them, and then they work that out with them to where they're paying for that drop shipping. So what I do is refer you, right? And that's how I handle it. But I would definitely, drop shipping is a way for you to have financial freedom. It's another way for you to have financial freedom, especially if you able to build it up to where you drop shipping a lot, to where they're constantly drop shipping for you. You're not getting all of the money, but hey, look at the work that you're doing, and it's gonna hit in the numbers. So I hope that helps. Hey James, how are you? Hi Miss Jessie, how are you? Okay, let's do one or two more questions. Um, Keisha says, can you recommend a drop shipper? I'm currently having everything outsourced. Come to my house first, then I deliver. So it just depends on it depends on how everything is set up for you. You outsource and then you have everything come to your house. Fine, I would talk to the company that I'm outsourcing my merchandise from if it is a complete product. If you're outsourcing transfers, then you would have to get the transfers and then press those onto the shirts. And then at that point, you would have to find the drop shipper. But if it's a complete product that someone is making for you, then you would want to see if they offer that service to drop ship that product. If not, then I would start Googling drop shipping services in my area, and find a drop shipper that is close to you in your area. So I wouldn't really know. Other than that, you guys also know that Amazon does drop shipping too. So that may also be an option depending on the product that you are selling. Okay, y'all. It is. It has been real. We don't have any more questions. I think I've answered them all. I hope that this video has helped you somewhat. And the name of the video is Stop Promoting Your Logo, Start Promoting Your Brand. But of course, I don't want you to stop putting your logo on things. That's not what this is about. Because you definitely need to put your logo on things, because your logo is going to help people identify the brand, right? But the whole purpose of this is for you to start promoting your brand, in everything that you do, is to promote your brand, and making sure that everything is in alignment with your brand so that you build trust, you build integrity. Um, you want your brand to build loyal customers, and you want customers who are going to resonate with your, because then it's personal. And once it gets personal, um, then people are likely apt to keep using you and to keep calling you back and back and back. So I hope that this helped y'all. I'm Lady PB. Good night.